Hey everybody, this is Cadroll Hunter and we're back with another box of quarters for our quarter hunt and album fill series. So we're back with a full box of customer rolled quarters. Of course, the exception being we've got a couple here that say London Gold Buyer. So not sure what those two are all about. They're both the same. But this is episode 5 of our quarter hunt and album fill. We've got our beautiful Lighthouse Vista album. We've made some great progress. There are 170 spaces in the album that we can fill. We've got 129 of them filled. So of course the most progress we need to make is on this page of silver. But in our last hunt, you'll recall, we got this 1961 and this 1967. I'll get in a little closer to see our friend the Bobcat. But otherwise, we've made good progress. There's a few in here that are going to be hard to find. The 73 large bust, the 1991 really low mintage. There's actually 10 additional spots in here that are actually NIFC, not intended for circulation. So the 97, 98, 99, 2000s. But they're out there. I know we could probably find a couple of them if we keep looking, so we're going to do that. But there are some spaces we could get today that we don't have here yet. So there's a couple of Olympic coins that we're missing, like that freestyle skiing, the bobsleigh. So we're going to see what we can find to fill any of those holes, and of course we want to see if we can find any upgrades to one of the ones that any of the ones that aren't in as great shape. So let's get right into some rolls and see what we can find. Roll number 1, we got our first find. It's our first US quarter of the box. And of course, we might find a lot of these being here in Canada, but this is a 1994 Denver. We'll put it on the board as our first find and we'll keep going, see what else we can find in here. Roll number 2, and we're gonna have a good find here. This is a 1992 Provincial Quarter, and you can see that it is in really great shape. And it is the Alberta. So this is a great find. I think we already have the Alberta for the album, but this could very well be an upgrader. We'll add this to the board. Of course, we find a lot of these in great condition because many people picked them out of their change or saved them when they came out. And so we might find a few more in there if there's, you know, any kind of a collection dump or a piggy bank emptying. We'll see. Roll number 3, and we just found a doozy. This is a 1970 low mintage, and just look at the condition it is in. It is in, it's got some fingerprints, but this is in like completely uncirculated condition with just some fingerprints. This makes me hopeful that there might be some really awesome things in this box. This is absolutely an upgrader. This is a key date quarter in just phenomenal shape. So this is a really great start to this box. Same roll, just a couple of coins back. We got ourselves our first colorized coin. This is the women's hockey. And so that's we're just adding to our great start. It's obviously been circulated, but that is our first color coin for the board. Just at the end of the roll, we found another completely uncirculated 70s coin. Again, some fingerprints on it. The 1977. Again, this is in flawless uncirculated condition. Somebody's been touching it with their fingers, of course, but that's awesome. It is an absolute stunner, definite upgrader. I don't even know what else we might have in here. We're finding a lot of 2021s in here, and so, you know, it's a little hard to just immediately make out that these are 70s quarters because they just look so amazing. So I'm going to have to look through very closely and not just discard any that are bright and shiny, because obviously we're finding some interesting things in here. Roll number 4, we've got our second color quarter of the box. It's a 2006 breast cancer research. We'll throw it up there with the rest of our finds, and just look at how brilliant that 70 and 77 are. It's just fantastic. Those could very well be from a proof-like set if somebody just opened it up and spent it. Who knows? We hope we find some more in here though. Same roll, we've got another commemorative quarter. This one is the Ingenuity from 2000. Looks like it's in pretty good shape, so we'll set this aside. I know we have this in the album, but it might not be quite as nice as this one, so this could be an upgrader for sure. Roll number 5, we're going to have an album spot filler for sure, because we found an Olympic ice hockey commemorative, and I know we don't have that spot. And a little bit earlier, we found this freestyle skiing one, which is in pretty terrible shape, but it's another one we actually don't have in the album. It's got the Ring of Death on there. So we can fill a couple spots with those. We're probably going to want to see if we can find something in nicer shape. And we usually can with these Olympic coins because people were pulling them out of circulation when they found them when they were first released. So we can definitely do better than this, but this will fill a couple spots. Same roll, and we got more color. I just flipped it over. Wasn't looking closely enough. You can see with this effigy of the Queen and no RCM logo or mint mark on it, it usually means that it's one of these legendary nature coins. But I didn't really look too closely. I flipped it over, and here we've got the orca with the blue on it. Same roll, and we're going to have another commemorative in pretty great shape. This is the 2000 achievement. Could be another upgrader. Same roll, we've got our oldest coin of the hunt right now. It is 1969. This is the first year where coins were all nickel. 68 was a transition year, some nickel and some silver. This looks like it's actually a bit of an offset strike. If I look at it, the rim is quite a bit thicker up here than it is down there. So that's a little bit of a find. We're going to put this aside. It might even upgrade in our album, but you can see that there's a much thicker rim on the left. So we've got an interesting find anyway. It's our oldest of the board. It could be an upgrader. It's definitely a bit of a error coin. Not tremendously, and it wouldn't be very valuable, but it's one for the board. Same roll, we've got our second US quarter. This one we can see is a Philadelphia minted quarter, and this one is the George Rogers Clark 2017. Roll number 6, our third American, Philadelphia minted. This is a Cumberland Gap. Same roll, and we've got our fourth colorized enamel poppy, well, coin. This is the 2010 double poppy, and we'll add that to the board. Same roll, and we found ourselves another low mint quarter. It's a 1983. This, it's got a scratch on the back right on the Queen's cheek. We'll check to see if it's an upgrader in the one that we have. It might not be in great shape, but that's another semi-key date, I guess, for Canadian quarters that we found in this box. Roll number 12, and we're going to have a few, well, interesting edges anyway. There's definitely a worn American. There's some kind of a worn edge, and then there's one that's a little bit suspect, but it doesn't quite look silver. It looks a little darker and dirtier, but we'll take a peek in a second, see what we've got, if anything. Well, that suspicious looking edge was really just a filthy 2006. And if we look a little further back, looks like we've got a 78. And then the smooth edge that we saw in here, if I can find it. Oh, there it is right at the end. It's just, yeah, it's a newer worn coin. It's a 2004. So actually nothing so far. We'll check the rest of the roll, see if there's anything else in here. Roll number 14, and we're going to fill another spot in the album because we don't already have this 2011 Legendary Nature Orca without the color. So that's another good one to add to the board, and we'll add it to the album. Still on roll 15, we're going to find ourselves another Provincial Quarter. This time, it is a Quebec. Roll 16, and we got ourselves a 1968, which means, of course, as you know, we need to check it to see if it is silver or nickel, and it's definitely nickel. The other thing we're going to do is keep it aside. It's not in great shape, but I think the one that we have in the album is actually probably in worse shape. Same roll, we got ourselves in 1981, and it's not in the best of shape, but if memory serves, our 81 in the album is pretty atrocious, so this might very well be an upgrade. And same roll, we've got our fifth color of the box. It's another 2006 breast cancer awareness. We'll add that to the board. We're finding some other things like this 2017 Stanley Cup, but we've already got a great one in the album, and this one's got some fair amount of circulation on it, so it's not necessarily a keeper. Same thing with the same roll. We also found another Cindy Clausen, but you can see this one is very well circulated, so we usually pull those aside if they look really good, and so if we find any that look spectacular, I'll bring in. Roll number 20, we're going to fill another spot for sure because we got ourselves a 1988, and that's one I know we don't have yet in the album. And so we're going to set that aside. So we're doing really well with our finds. We've got a bunch of things to check against the album. We've got some 1970s beauties there. Definitely some spots are going to be filled today. So this is fantastic. And we're not even halfway through yet. Same roll. And we're going to have another semi-key date, low mintage 1983. This one looks like somebody's put a lighter to it. And it's definitely got some discoloration going on. But it's another find for the board for sure. And just a little bit behind that, we've got a pretty beat up and dirty 1971 out of Denver US quarter. Roll number 21, and as I was laying it down, looking at an edge, I thought it looked a little suspect, but now as I've laid it down, I'm thinking we've got silver here. And I gotta say, that looks silver to me. This is a plastic roll. I couldn't tell from the outside, but that is a 1968. That is undoubtedly silver, but just to be sure, we're just gonna do the magnet test, and it fails the magnet test. We got silver in the box. This is a 1968 50%er. That's our first silver of the board, and we're on a silver streak. This is 2 boxes in a row. We've still got more of this box to hunt, but after our 2 in the last video, we got 1 in this video. This is fantastic. So this is definitely an album filler. We don't have the 68 silver, so we'll add that to the board, and we'll leave some space for more silver if we're fortunate enough to get any more. Before we keep going, while I got you here, I just wanted to thank you for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I got lots of content coming out. And definitely hit the like button on the video. That helps me out a lot. I really appreciate everybody's support. Okay, well, let's keep going. Same roll, just a few coins back. And we got a 2008 Poppy. So we got more color for the board. Roll number 23. We're going to have ourselves another Provincial. This one's looking pretty rough, though. It is a Nova Scotia. We're at the halfway point, roll number 25, and we've got our 7th colorized coin. This is another 2006, our 3rd of the hunt. We're on pace for 14 color in the box, which is about average, I would say. But obviously, with some silver and some real beauties, we're doing really well so far. Just at the end of roll number 26, and we just flipped it over, and I almost didn't notice it at first, but it's a Canada Flag 2015. We're looking for a better one in our album, but this is not going to be it because it's kind of scratched up. So we're still looking for one that looks really good. Roll 28, and we have found us just a beautiful Olympic downhill skiing. Roll number 29, and we got a couple odd edges. That one looks pretty toasty. It's hard to know what that might be, but we'll put it down and we'll have a peek. And this other one might just be gunky. Okay, so we'll take a look at this dark one first. And we've got more silver. This is a 1966. This is 80%, and I have no idea. That's just some really significant toning. That's really fantastic. It doesn't even look like it's got a lot of circulation wear, but it's certainly tarnished or toned. That's awesome. That's 2 silver in the box. And let's take a look if we can see that other light edge, what that might have been. I don't think it was anything. And I think it's just something dirty. Yeah, it's a 2016. But we got more silver in the box, which is fantastic. Roll number 30, and we'll have our 6th American of the box. It's from Philadelphia. And this one is a 2000 Maryland State Quarter. We'll have at least one more because I could see it back here. And we have a Kansas State, oh, it's an Arkansas State Quarter. If it was Kansas, I was going to say we could look for the In God We Rust era, but we're not going to find it on the Arkansas State Quarter. Same roll, and we found ourselves a nice Cindy Clausen Quarter. Roll 31, and I just flipped over what is our 2nd Legendary Nature Orca colorized version. Same roll, this will be our 4th of the breast cancer from 2006. Roll 33, we got a pretty faded 2004. This is our 11th color of the box. Roll 34, our 8th U.S. quarter of the hunt. And this one is a 2006 North Dakota State Quarter. All right, this is roll number 36. I'm curious about this one because normally when we find these machine wrapped rolls in Canada, they're part of Canada's ARP program, the Alloy Recovery Program. You'll recall we recently had a box of those. But this one, because it says it's got the name of a business on here, I don't really know. It seems like it just might be a business that takes in a lot of change, has their own wrapping machines. So we'll see what we find or don't find in here. So nothing interesting by the edge. So we'll see if we find anything like color or anything like that. Oh, well, it looks like we will right at the outset because the ender is a 2006 and it's pretty scratched up, but we'll have a peek and see what else we find in here. Well, we have found a pretty nice looking 2000 commemorative coin, so we'll see if that's one we need for the album. I'll set that aside. And we are finding some older ones, so this isn't like the ARP boxes where they're taking all the nickel and the older stuff out. These guys probably are just wrapping up whatever they're getting in change. And speaking of older coins, and probably speaking of nickel, here's a 1968 at the end of the roll, and it definitely is nickel. Roll 39, and we're going to plug another hole in the album. This is a 1996. Again, not the best example, but it is one we don't already have, so that's another one for the board. Same roll, and it's another 2004 poppy, and you can barely tell that this at least was colored at one point in time because it's pretty much worn right off. It's one for the board. It's not a keeper, though, of course, in this condition and, you know, not being that great. And, of course, if you've been watching my videos, you'll know that we got 2 full rolls of uncirculated 2004 in a previous hunt. I'll put a link up in the top corner to that video so you can see that. Roll number 40, and this is our second wrapped roll here, and we got ourselves a beauty. It looks like a really nice 1973, which means we can put it under the scope and see what we're dealing with. If it's a small bust, which is the really common one, or the large bust. And it is, unfortunately, the common small bust. We can see that the beads are far away from the rim, and there's a lot of detail in the hair. That's what we're really looking for if it's a small bust or a large bust. And next coin in the roll, I just flipped it over, and it's a 2008 poppy. It's got a bit of the ring of death, but it's more color for the board. That is our second one that we found. Still in the same roll, and we've got another 2006. This one looks to be in good shape. We're still in the same roll, and we got another one, another 2006, and it's got a little bit of a mark on it, but again, it's color for the board. I think that's our 14th now, and we still have 10 rolls to go. Roll 42, we got another Provincial Quarter. This time it is BC, British Columbia. Same roll, and we got another gorgeous 1973. Look at that beauty. And again, we can scope it and see what we've got. I can see it from the naked eye. I'll put it under here for you. Once again, we've got the common small bust. Again, the beads are far from the rim. There's lots of hair detail. But this one is a real beauty. This could potentially upgrade the one that we've got in the album, although I think it's already good. This one looks fantastic. Roll number 43, we got ourselves another 2004 color poppy. This one's looking pretty rough, though. Roll 45, and we've got our third low mintage 1983 of the box. That's some pretty heavy scratching on it, though, but again, it's a low mintage 83. We'll add it to the board. Roll 47, and this is now our fourth 2004 poppy in this box. We're already in roll number 49, and we got a nice 1999 Connecticut State Quarter. This is actually our third U.S. quarter of the roll. Nothing terribly interesting with the other two, but this one is a little bit of an offset coin. You can see there's a pretty wide rim on the left and less wide for sure, discernibly so. And if we flip it, this side actually looks pretty good. It doesn't look like it's offset at all. So it's really just the reverse that is offset. Just towards the end of roll number 50, and we got a couple finds here. First is another 2006 breast cancer awareness quarter. And then right behind it, we've got a Utah State Quarter from 2007. This one from Denver, looking pretty good. I'll look through these last coins, and it looks like we might have another color actually in here. I may as well look through them live because there's another 2006. And, oh, another 1988. We'll see this one. We'll take the best one. We know we need an 88 for this one. And that's it. So we'll come back with a wrap-up. Well, that turned out to be another great box and a really fun hunt. We ended up with 12 U.S. quarters, including this Connecticut 1991 that is a little bit off-center. We got 20 color quarters, which was pretty awesome. 4 of them are the 2004 poppy. We got 9 of the 2006, 2 2008 poppies, 1 of the women's hockey, 1 double poppy from 2010, a couple of the Orca and the Legendary Nature series from 2011, 1 of the 2015 Canada flag. We got a really nice Cindy Clausen, a really nice 2017 Stanley Cup. Over here we got 16 Olympic coins. The ones that you can see there, we know for sure we need in the album. The other ones were ones that were in really great condition. We got 6 provincial coins, including this really gorgeous Alberta one. So we'll look and see if we're missing any there. We got a few of the low mintage 1983 and 2 of the 1973. And before we get to, and they're both the small bust as we saw, before we get to our awesome finds, We got a whole bunch over here that I know we either need or could possibly upgrade. So we're going to take a look and see what's in there against the album in a second. The stars of this show, of course, we got this 1970 and 1977. These look like they just rolled off the mint production facility. These might be out of mint sets. These are fantastic. I think I'm going to flip them up. I'll take a look at what we have in the album if we've already got some nice ones. I just want to keep these as nice as possible. And then, of course, we got silver, which is awesome. We got that 1968 50%er on the left. That was the first one. And then this really toned or tarnished 1966 80%. So we're going to look in the album and see what we can add and what we can upgrade. And we'll be right back with a wrap-up of that. So I've looked through everything we found today, and I've updated the album. We did really, really well. We actually added 13 coins to the album, which is fantastic. And our best, of course, were getting the 1966 as well as that 1968. So we've got now 4 of the 17 silver, which is fantastic. We also added an 88, a 92 Nova Scotia, and a 92 BC. We added 4 of the Olympic coins that we didn't have. And note that a lot of the coins that we're missing right now are the NIFCs, the 97 through 99, the Caribou. They're just not issued, although I know we can probably get some of them because people get them in sets and then they let them out into the wild. We also added the 2011 Wood Bison and Orca, so they're on this page here, the non-color version. The Wood Bison and the Orca. So we got those. There's just a few things left that we could probably get. That 2009 color men's ice hockey with the raised 2. We have the infused 2. That we haven't got yet. And we also haven't got the 2012 Sir Isaac Brock. But otherwise, the only other thing we're missing is that 2005 colored Poppy. We can definitely get that one for sure. The 2017 Caribou wasn't issued for circulation. They were in sets. We might be able to find that if people have let them out. Otherwise, this album is looking fantastic. There are definitely some ones we can upgrade moving forward, but we're not going to get a lot of spot fillers like we did today, getting 13. In any case, I really thank you for joining today and watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. That would be fantastic. Hit the notification icon. You'll find out when I've got new videos coming out. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Cadroll Hunter, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful day, and take care.